What is going on, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of the absolute best show in all of pro wrestling and sports entertainment, none other than the Royal Rundown, hosted by yours truly, SERG VICENTE, and my sister from another mister, the brains being the operation. We're talking about the one that did a stint. She did a stint with WWE when the man Hunter Hearst Helmsley was in charge of NXT. And check this out, there is some news. Miss Drady, before we get into all that news, how are you doing today? And then we got to tell people about everything else. Thank you for watching, all that good stuff. Scrap news. We'll tell you guys about that fantastic place and so much more. So go ahead, Miss Drady, what it do?
Hey, what's up? We back on Tuesday. Our regular day, our home day. We
Home
back.
day.
We're doing it. Episode 21 out here.
Gang,
Listen,
we legal now.
It has we legal now.
We can drink. What's up?
And we are. Listen. Welcome to the TV-14 version of the Royal Rundown. It is.
There we go. PG era is gone. Okay,
Listen,
PG era is over.
Listen, I told Sergio when we first started talking wrestling on the good old, really for real, on the good old Fight Pod, I was like, listen, if you're going to start following this stuff, understand that one day, lots of things can change. Every minute, there is some wrestling news. And who would have thunk it that in the lovely year of our Lord 2022, when the Royal Rundown was birthed, we would be experiencing
the most epic year in pro wrestling
wrestling's next renaissance, per se.
Oh my goodness.
Next
but
era,
really quick,
like a literal
before
transition.
we get into that, let's let the people know, first and foremost, you're watching episode 21 of the Royal Rundown. Thank you guys so much for watching live on YouTube, as well as on the Scrap News, as well as the Fight Podcast YouTube page. Appreciate you guys. Speaking of the Scrap News, make sure you go check out the absolute best. And you see, there's a theme here. We only mess with the absolute best. We are talking about the best in sports, combat sports journalism. Check that out. The awesome articles, even some written by myself. You have, shows like this one and so much more. Go ahead and check them out. Also, check out the Fight Podcast everywhere podcasting is available. Apple, Google Play, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, all them joints. Check out thefightpodcast.com.
So you
listen,
can
like,
hear
subscribe,
our beautiful voices.
Share, so you can hear us all. And you
velvety
can.
Voices.
You hear that? Look at that.
You hear these voices.
Voices that are made for radio. And last but certainly not least, you see this shirt, you see that mug. Check out etsy.com/shop/thefightpodshop for some fire merchandise. Look at that mug. You know you love that mug. Go ahead and get you one. All right. We got all there. We did that. We got out the way. Let's jump into it.
Baby.
Miss Drady.
Baby.
Where do we begin? Where do we jump into it? This year has to be the most epic year in pro wrestling history, from the return of Cody Rhodes that we looked at like that was going to be the biggest moment of the year, and it was fantastic, to the Forbidden Door finally coming in fruition and everything that AEW is doing with Ring of Honor and New Japan and the shows that they've been putting on, and Chicago coming back is by far the best wrestling town in the entire world. We have all of these things going on and all of these things happening, and in the midst of all of this, he who will not be named, we will actually say his name today.
You gotta say
Vince McMahon retires. Amidst all of the controversy and more hush money that has come to fruition. Dre.
Yeah.
This is one of the moments we always gonna remember. Cats talk about Kennedy and all these other wild stuff. Fam, this is one of the big moments. This is crazy.
When man stepped foot on the moon.
This is not the PG era anymore, people. You understand?
Epic.
TV 14.
Listen, it's so funny because I always talk about, like, we do our show in the middle of the week, right? Whether it's Tuesday or Wednesday. And like when we were planning this lovely joint, we were like, yeah, Tuesday is good because, we've got the Friday SmackDown, Friday
Yeah.
Rampage. If
Yep.
there's a pay-per-view in the weekend, we can catch all that. We got Monday Night Raw, and then
Mhm.
Tuesday right after NXT, we should, we've
Mhm.
got like that's kind of like the reset of the week for to us, and then like
Yeah.
almost like Dynamite kind of starts the new week, right?
Right. Right.
At least for us, right? We thought that that was
Right.
a good idea. We thought
Absolutely. We
that,
thought.
what could possibly happen in the middle of a week, right? That could be so significant. And how many times in 21 episodes have we been like, yo, we
Yo.
don't have enough time to talk about everything? And uh, Vince McMahon has officially retired. Everyone,
Officially, he is gone.
we've all thought that that man would literally die in the chair, right? Like
Hey,
the
he when he
only
said
reason,
forever, I thought he meant it.
and we all meant his mom is like a 70, 100 years old. So we just assumed
He
that
gonna
that
be
would
100 years
also,
old booking
and
terribly because they've been so out of touch, but he'd still be booking.
And so for us, I just think it's interesting that for there's been like this trend of things breaking on Friday right before SmackDown. And I'm
Yeah.
and I think that's by choice. I don't think that's not, I think that is 1000% purposeful because listen, if Vince is a showman, he's been booking for several lifetimes now at this
Yeah,
point.
since the beginning, the turn of the century.
And before him it was his father. So it's kind of like I just think that is so interesting because everyone does scramble to see what's going to happen for SmackDown. And then I don't want to say by default, but like, and then, you go to Rampage right afterwards, like, all right, what's going to happen for that? So I just feel like this is one of those turning point moments, not just for WWE, but for wrestling in general. A lot of people's gripes with WWE kind of stop and start with creative, and the head of creative is Vince McMahon. And so for
Oh yeah.
that to no longer be fact, for that to be now Triple H is the head of creative, and
Oh, say it again. Say it with your chest.
I will say it with with the black and gold NXT on my chest, absolutely that Triple H is now the head of creative for WWE. And like historically, when a wrestling person, a person who's
Mhm.
actually done the things
Right.
before is doing booking, I mean, it can sometimes get wishy-washy, but
Mhm.
I think that Triple H is someone you can trust with this. We saw what he did with Black and Gold NXT. He literally took it from a developmental game show type situation and
Seriously.
made it to what it was before it turned into 2.0. And for it to even be something you could only watch on Hulu Plus to y'all remember Hulu Plus to
Jeez.
to being on the USA Network, that is all, not all, but that is a big, Triple H is a big part of that. And so it is promising to say the least. Some of the
Absolutely.
weird little things I think what we see in programming now we don't have to worry about. And we got like a nice little taste of it on Monday Night Raw last night. So I'm excited. I feel like it's gonna be a really interesting rest of the year all around.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because we talk about again. I think it was huge news. Most people were freaked out, and something's big news when it's like on the bottom ticker of ESPN or of the Royal Rundown as you look at the bottom ticker. But
Come on, take it.
things like that, saying are huge, and it's interesting to see again what they were going to do, right? And then now we know Triple H is head of creative again. Raw happened this past week. What are your thoughts? Again, seeing it going through, was it what you expected? Was it, did you, yeah, in fact, what were you even expecting?
Yeah, I think I wasn't, I did not think expect sweeping change. I
Hmm.
mean, in a few hours. Here, we gotta set the scene. Like this is the
Please. Yeah,
go home raw of SummerSlam that's happening this weekend.
for sure. Which is
SummerSlam
cool.
is
What timing though? Like crazy. Like this is
it's
nuts.
it's insane. And SummerSlam is one of the big four pay-per-views. Technically, it's the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. So next to
So they
WrestleMania.
say. So
In
they say.
in, in theory,
In
again.
theory.
In
Theory.
Austin Theory, yes.
Oh,
So
we will talk about theory.
we're gonna talk about that Poe
We're
baby.
gonna talk about oh man, they did him dirty.
Dad Poe baby. You feel
I
bad
don't
now, don't
even
you?
yo, like low key, I was like in one moment, it all of a sudden you look around, I was just like, first of all,
Pumpkin. Like,
Roman
oh,
is the biggest
pumpkin.
baby face. Like the moment this dude walks in, Roman's the biggest baby face in the world
Immediately.
immediately. And then the way he goes out here and just uh, Roman Reigns, I've said it time and time again, the absolute best wrestler in the world, goes out here, the tribal chief. He tells so much just in his facial expressions. Oh my goodness. It's
Yes, he
so
does.
good. Everything that he was doing,
And
the
what a
look
face
of
it
just
is.
the oh, okay.
Sorry, I have
Hey,
eyeballs. My bad.
hey, look, he's a handsome man. No,
Thank
not
you
taking
very
anything
much.
away from that. I mean, he's a superstar for a reason. He
It's
looks like that and he's built like that. Come on.
he mm-hmm.
There's no hate. No hate whatsoever over here. Look, I'm always one of those dudes like, yo, it's weird if dudes wear shirts with pictures of other dudes on it. I absolutely have a bloodline shirt that I wear that my girlfriend makes absolute fun of me, but I don't care. I wear that
Love
shit
it.
with pride.
And you
And
have
if
a
I
girlfriend to make fun of you about it. So
and,
that's all good. Let somebody make fun of
and
you.
there you go.
Let somebody
Look,
say something.
nerds, guys. There is still a chance. All right. Now,
I'm
granted,
saying.
gotta have a little swag in there somewhere. But
Got
regardless,
to.
I
Got
have to
to.
have just a touch. Okay, so again, Triple
I
H head
just
of
think,
creative. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
sorry,
I
go ahead.
mean, I think that like a lot of people, not a lot of people, I think some people got a little overexcited and wanted to see sweeping change immediately. What I really appreciate about the approach we saw, what I really appreciate about the approach that we saw on Monday was it wasn't sweeping change, but it was like breadcrumbing of certain things that
Mhm, mhm.
that they know have gone out on the dirt sheets and in in social media for years about
Absolutely.
about a talent not being able to say certain words and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And I feel
yeah.
like I think that was a really cool um touch to like
Mhm,
let's not pretend like this that we don't know what this is. Hell, I
mhm.
mean, I think it was Friday on SmackDown or Xavier Woods was in there mentioning Ring of Honor, New Japan, and on air,
Yo,
and it was like
yo,
that used to be like
just
forbidden.
letting it fly.
That used to be forbidden. I do love like the fact that we began Monday Night Raw last night with a brawl that started before it went on air. So you almost feel like if you tuned in on time, you're like, did I miss something? And
I
it's
absolutely
so
thought I
dope.
missed something.
And it's dope.
I
I mean,
looked up, yeah.
you're like that reminds that was one of those little mini like
Say
reminiscence
it,
of like
say it,
chaotic
say,
WCW, chaotic
ah,
attitude era where like
yes.
you blink for 2 seconds or you go to the bathroom during the commercial break and come back a little late
Yeah,
and you're like, what did I miss? It was just
seriously.
nice. It was just nice to be a little different. Of course, it went into like the formulaic okay
Oh yeah,
promo
of
happening
course.
after that,
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
was nice. It was just a nice little switch up. Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns on the mic to kick it off. Who else do you want? I mean, who else do you want? Like, and the perfect people to make light of the situation that everybody's holding their
Absolutely,
breath waiting for someone to mention. And
absolutely.
throwing Austin Theory under the bus for this is perfect.
Oh my goodness. I think all of us at one point in time we were laughing. Like, cause I think that's one of the first things that I thought of. I'm like, yo, Theory's about to get killed.
Killed.
And you know what? I unfortunately for him, which kind of sucks, it definitely it's going to put him back where I think all of us think he belongs. Unfortunately for him, it's one of those moments I'm like, ooh, upper mid card. Okay.
Mhm.
Get comfy, buddy. Dolph Ziggler 2.0.
That would be cool. And my sister's
Yeah,
over here. Like that would be really cool. And I think that I I, I mean this is still WWE, so I'm still very cautiously optimistic. But historically, we'll talk about this for sure. Historically, though, the Money in the Bank winner tends to lose a lot before they cash in. If they don't cash in immediately after
Shit.
winning, like Liv Morgan
Big
did.
E, Big E won the belt and he just started losing. That's when he started losing.
He was, but he wasn't even a part of his own story. It was just madness. Don't get started, okay? Can we not? Um, so I am a little worried that we beat Theory's ass all day last night. You know what I'm saying? All show for the first hour. Multiple people. I mean,
Oh,
Roman, the
yo.
Usos, Dolph Ziggler. Like that man got beef with half the roster at this point. Brock
Well,
Lesnar.
but here's the thing. Now you got to play it off, right? Now you got to
Yeah.
say, well, look, I hate to do this to you, kid, but Vince put you in a bad situation. And now that we know that everyone knows it's a change, we have to shake things up. You're not getting the same push. You're going to you might become Sami Zayn.
Stop it. Don't you do that to
That's
Sami
that is
Zayn.
a
Don't
that is
don't you
a
disrespect.
that I'm not disrespecting. I think I'm giving them both. If he can get
Okay.
to a point where he is somebody like a Sami Zayn,
All
I
right.
think extremely highly of Sami Zayn.
Love Mr. Sami Zayn here.
I think he's fantastic. And you know what? Theory shows me things that you know what, man. This dude is like he got it. He's good.
I gotta give Theory credit. Like I was very much watching his performance very closely
Yes.
yesterday. I mean, I have been watching his performances, but like I've been watching his performance. I was watching it specifically last night, and like Mans does many things well, you know, and he plays this particular character the way that's why everyone can't stand him. That's why it works when people keep beating him up. Heels faces everybody. It makes sense
He's in
because
because
he's playing his part really well. And like just when you think outside of the storyline, for a talent like him who's new and who's newish in the game or whatever, like this is a great spot for him to be, and he's learning a ton in his first year on the main roster. You know what I mean? And like and to be involved in the storyline, regardless of how it began and regardless of how it might end, it's just a really good spot for him to be in because he's gonna be someone we're gonna see for a long time because he is super talented and good at what he does. So like,
for sure.
I'm gonna ask you this, Serge.
I'm here for it. What's up?
And this is along the lines of what my lovely sister in the comments made on. What is, I'm gonna say two things that you're hoping or changes, whatever it might be, that you're hoping will come with not just the McMahon Helmsley regime going on right now with Stephanie and Triple H.
Yo, I love it. I'm here for it so far.
Right. Also with the TV14 situation, like what are two? I'm going to ask you for two changes you're hoping Mr. Triple H is going to make to programming per se.
I want him to make storylines matter. That's the main thing. I want storylines to matter. I want things that are happening. I want there to be a payoff if I get invested. And I think that when I go back and I look what he used to do at NXT, everything from like the you know what I'm saying, the black and gold.
You got to make it this distinction.
Look. I only think of one thing when I say black and gold. Okay, so like don't nobody else get that. But you know what I'm saying?
Throw it up.
They're NXT. I
tell them. Throw it up. Let them know.
You know what I'm saying? Brothers, you know what I'm saying? Black and gold or old gold. You know what I'm saying? Come on now.
My
brothers, my ice cold brothers. You know what I'm saying? Love y'all. You know what I'm saying? 06. All right.
I needed one. I was like, come on, you got to get some more. Yeah, man. You know you want it.
I'm a grown man now. Like I said, I have to get, and it's late. You know what I'm saying? I have a house full of people. I ain't trying to wake nobody up. I get excited. But look, like I think that's the main thing, right? That it's things like that has to storylines have to matter. You look at what, for instance, they did even like with Finn Balor. Finn Balor's a star. I want good wrestlers to get like a payoff for good wrestling. I want to see it. One thing about the Attitude Era, we see the promos, we see all the things, we go back and we see that. But if you go back and watch those shows, they were wrestling and storylines mattered. They were great matches. Not granted, but here's the thing though, like some of them were just short ones. They had a
Yeah,
bunch of short ones.
squashes absolutely happened far more
Yeah,
often,
and then
yeah,
you saw squash matches, you saw good quick, like, it was like quick stuff, but there was like more
yeah,
going on. And one thing that I did see in this first episode of Raw was all of a sudden I saw a lot of people that I haven't felt like I've seen consistently all of a
mhm.
sudden getting angles and things that kind of felt like they mattered. You know what I'm saying? Like all of a
There's also
sudden, see,
6 matches on the card last night.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
like, when's the last time that's happened with stuff that matter? Even they even threw the Logan Paul Miz stuff in there, rolling the two of them rolling around. And you know what? You know what it felt like, and maybe I'm just being a prisoner of the moment because in between that and obviously the main event match with the Usos and Roman and and then you got the New Day and Riddle, right?
The New
That
Day and
match
Riddle? Really?
I did say that, didn't I? The Street Profits.
Yeah.
I
What
apologize. Tez,
what?
Docs, my brother. I'm sorry.
Sir,
They all
come on.
look alike.
No, they
Um,
don't.
I'm
Ah,
playing.
you're so
Total jokes.
terrible.
Total jokes.
Dang, dang.
My brother. Whatever. You know what? At least somebody says them because they didn't show up for sure. Don't nobody talk about them anymore
The New
unless they're
Day is on
getting squashed.
SmackDown. That's why they weren't
They're
there.
getting squashed every time by everybody. They're getting destroyed by the
Mm,
Viking
they're getting
Raiders.
they're trying to get them over right now.
Who
I'm just
you
giving you the
you made me
logic. I'm not
lose
necessarily
my train of thought.
I'm
It is
not necessarily saying
terrible.
it's the right thing to do. I'm just saying that is the storyline logic at the moment. They're trying to
So
get
they
these
they so
guys
they
over.
got over butching them, and now they got to get over another doofy crew. We just got to
Yeah.
get these doofy white crews over left and right. Okay, let's go over here.
You put the teams that need to get over with good quality other teams or wrestling. Like this could be a one-on-one
I
situation too.
understand. Mhm.
And the New Day they're a dependable hand. Like you can't like they're
Absolutely.
never not going to make their opponent look good.
But
And
here's the
that's
thing. Don't
why.
you want them, even if it's not with them, give them some other matches where some people that they can squash. Make
Of
them
course.
look like they aren't
There's
just scrubs.
Yeah,
Like
after a
maybe
while it's
when
like
they
the law of diminishing returns. After a while you're like, "All
yeah.
right, now
Like
what?"
how about this? Like how about if they like prime example, go out there, yes, they're losing to the Viking Raiders, but they have a match with Los
Los
Lotharios or
Lotharios. I
something,
was just gonna
yeah, and they
say,
just
that's terrible.
smash, you know what I'm
With
saying?
them.
They just dust them and keep it
Yeah.
rocking, like, and then they lose to the Viking Raiders again. So it's like they're still a
Or
good
any of
team
the
that
random
has to.
NXT 2.0 tags.
But
Like,
you know what I'm
throw them
saying?
up there for, like, a random SmackDown or random Raw for a match like that.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
let them go out there and like look like a strong team that just can't beat these guys right now.
right. I get it.
It
I
You know
agree.
what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's to me, I think that's just I think that's just lazy booking, and lazy booking from an old, out of touch booker named Vince McMahon.
Well, look at that. It's a whole new world.
So, we got off track, but I was talking about from
Making storylines matter.
well, not only making storylines matter, the wrestling felt harder paced. It felt like if
Oh,
I
yeah.
felt more impact in this Raw than I feel like I felt in a long time. Like watching some of the shots, like I'm watching like Roman open hands slap Doc, and I was like, fam, that was aggressive. And then even to the point that I'm looking at Tez leaking, like he's busted open, and they got to get busted open the hard way in the WWE. They look like
Yeah.
and they even have other angles where you saw the medical team run over, like, yo,
Are you
are
straight?
you okay?
Yeah.
By the way, really quick, I need,
I already know what this
I need
Mm.
Montez Ford versus Roman Reigns.
Oh, it's happening.
I need it. Yo,
Why
Tez
you think Tez
could
has been
always
in the
wrestle.
gym? Why you think Tez
Man,
been in the gym?
main event
Dance
Tez,
is
like,
looking like this now.
but it makes him stand out though, doesn't it? It really makes
And
him
he
stand out
already
now.
did. I think that's what's crazy because, like, he already did. He was already super. And I hate the. It's not that it's not true. I just hate that they always use this word with black
Athletic,
wrestlers. It just drives me insane because, like,
athletic,
ain't all of y'all supposed to be athletic? Like,
supposed to be.
give
Yeah,
me
yeah.
something else. Give me another word. But for Tez, he is so ridiculously athletic, right?
Ridiculously
Like
athletic.
the
Absolutely.
fact that he can fly the way he does and he's as tall as he is, that's already,
How tall is he,
you
by
know,
the way? I'm not sure. I know
I,
I think
he's
he's like 6'3".
I was like, he's over 6 feet. I don't know how tall he is,
Yeah.
but he stands when he's next to Roman, you don't look at him and go, ooh, Roman's so much bigger than him. That's not what you do anymore. Right.
Yo,
Like there
when
was a
he
time
looked
where
at
he was
Roman and screamed, "Acknowledge me," I giggled my
book it.
ass
You
off.
text me and said, book it right
I said,
now.
"Yeah, book it. Take my money." I
Book
said,
it
"Book it right now.
now.
I need it.
We'll
Inject
get
that
it.
shit directly in my veins."
We'll absolutely. I don't see us not. I don't see why we wouldn't get it. Like it's just, first of all, they're already talking about the fact that Dawkins is kind of stepping up his game so that he can kind of like temper some of the Montez Ford go solo talks.
Yeah.
That eventual one-on-one is going to be fun, if especially because
Oh
I
man,
now
yes it will.
feel like the story's in good hands once it
Yeah.
eventually happens. The thing
Yeah.
is, I don't, there's a lot of like I said, we put a lot of again, I've got NXT Black and Gold in my brain because just like you said, the storylines they mattered,
Yeah.
whether they were short or long or something that like starts here and then a year later we go back to it,
It
or
made
6 months later we
sense.
go back to it. There's still a thread,
Absolutely.
behind it. And like the
Yep.
fact that we might, again, I'm cautiously optimistic here,
Might.
the fact that we might actually get at least that philosophy on
Yeah.
the main roster more consistently, because we get it sometimes with some people but not all the time with others. And I feel
Mm.
like even yesterday just felt like one of those, like, okay, let's clarify the SummerSlam stuff if you're
You're right.
confused. Because
Yes.
I forgot all about Seth and Riddle until the end of I was like,
How
oh,
did
that's
you like
definitely
that?
happening.
That was I like how the show was booked, right? You had a brawl at the beginning,
Hmm.
and in the main event match where you're used to seeing it like cut off on camera there, you had Roman walk up and then something else happened. So we're finishing on something totally, and literally had like 3 minutes of 3 to 5 minutes of some like action, right?
Of shiny suit
Oh
Seth,
man,
smoking Riddle
yo.
behind.
And even another layer of that of Roman and Seth just looking at each other.
Do you mean the show not tell?
Come
That's my
on.
favorite storytelling. Show not
Come
tell.
on.
Listen, even if you just started watching wrestling a year ago and you didn't get to see the Shield be the Shield, you've heard about the
Right.
Shield.
You know about the Shield.
You heard about it, you know about it. So
Absolutely.
they can just walk by each other, look at each other. Seth is cackling in Joker style. Roman's giving him the Godfather, okay. And then they bounce. Like it's just, it didn't last too long. It was like, yep, that's happening. And then Seth went to business. Loved it. I think
For
that was
sure.
wonderful. And again, and I hate to say this is probably my own fault. I forgot all about Seth and Riddle. I forgot they were even feuding. I forgot that they have a match at SummerSlam. Totally forgot.
Absolutely. And
But now
that's
that I know,
honestly absolutely.
lit. Let's go. I'm ready for
I
that. Let's
can't
do
wait.
it.
I
Yeah.
cannot wait because we already know that's.
That's our work
Let me
rematch.
ask you this. Has every Has every main event or main show match that Seth Rollins been in, has that been the best match of that card?
This year,
Yes.
probably there'd be more than less. I'll put it that way.
I'm telling you, he has
Yeah.
been
I can't even think of one that was bad. There's some, WWE has the tendency to overbook some stuff and repetitiously have the same people wrestle the same people all the time. And there's a lot of
mhm,
there may be some of that if you really look back at it.
right.
But if I off the top of my head, there isn't a pay-per-view we haven't talked about on this show that Seth Rollins was wrestling in that we did not at least acknowledge that Seth Rollins may not had the best match of that night.
That's real. That's real.
Mans is
Ooh,
doing what he's supposed to do.
he is absolutely doing what he's supposed to do. Okay, I have a question for you. You
Okay.
threw one at me that I wasn't ready for, and I got one for you. For you, if who do you believe Triple H is going to bring back? Give me three.
3. All right, cool.
3.
I think if anybody can talk this woman back into going, this woman can talk this woman back to the WWE, it would be him. I'm talking about the boss, Sasha Banks. I think I would like to see her back.
Boss Glow would be fantastic to see back.
And I would love to see them both back, but just there's a Sasha in particular, just because of their NXT connection, and just the way he believed in her at a time where he could have. Let's put it this, because again, I was there for I was interning for them for a good portion of some of this.
Mm-hmm.
He believed in her when he had other options. And you can kind of tell that other options were maybe some higher ups as first preferences. And no disrespect to, one of the GOATs, Charlotte Flair. She's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't disrespectful to that at all. But you could tell, like, they were coming up together at the same time, and Bayley as well. But you could tell that, Charlotte Flair has her last name going for her. She's a tall, I don't know if she's blue-eyed, and blonde. That is the prototype for Vince McMahon, right? You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? So she had all of that going for her before she even steps through the ropes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, good on her for putting the work in to be really good, like, amazing.
And there's never shade on Charlotte Flair, because Charlotte Flair can go. She
Absolutely.
Can wrestle. And she's tough.
And she's tough as hell. And like I got to see a lot of this when I was interning. And I was interning from end of 2013 to like most of 2014. So like I got to see a lot of this in a really good time. And so I feel like Sasha Banks is someone that I think would be far more likely to actually get into the room for have a conversation if it was Triple H she was dealing with versus John Laurinaitis or Vince McMahon. Man. So that's one.
I don't think that would have happened if it was Triple H, to be fair.
No. 2. The second one. Oh, let's think.
Okay.
Bringing back, right? Not bringing up. Okay, so bringing back.
We can talk about that next, but right now, bringing back.
I am going to say a random one. I'm going to say the Iconics.
That is a random one.
Very random.
Very random, but I'm not mad at it.
Let me explain why. They are not my favorite. They're not my favorite at all.
Okay.
But when it comes to sports entertainment and entertaining and being funny and being annoying heels, women's tag team. Let me just one more time for the folks in the back.
They make those in the WWE?
They were a tag team, you know what I mean? Like a legit one too, like together as a unit. I think that there's space for them. There's space for them. They could be used. They don't, whether they win or not, they could, if Maurice can be up there talking about Mrs. Balls, Iconics can be raising hell backstage and in the ring and etc. So that's my 2.
Yo, that storyline needs to die. The
purse was funny though. Stop. The purse was funny.
Okay. To be fair.
The purse was funny. I literally turned. I looked at the screen. I said, "I know she's not."
I giggled. I'm not gonna lie to you. I giggled. And real quick, I'll say this: Logan Paul was made for this. He was absolutely made for this.
This is his home.
This is his home.
Entertainment is his home. That's where he belongs.
The Miz, Logan Paul, in theory, just need to just go in a round table all the time, constantly going at each other. That would be entertaining.
Until facts. I actually wouldn't hate that at all.
The most annoying, and they would go at it constantly. Like, no, I'm the biggest schmuck here. No,
they would mess around and turn Miz's face through because of that. Because I was like, out of all 3 of them,
but how great would that be though? Like how it would be great. Oh man, but no, he knocked it out the park. For the first time in about 18 years, Rey Mysterio's was interesting, and a storyline with him actually felt like something was going on. I was sitting there when he was sitting, he came out there in the purple. First of all, let's show some love to the man, the myth, the legend, Eddie Guerrero. For him to go out there and show some love. Come on.
Viva la raza. Let's
Come
go.
on. Come on. Everybody get a little shoulder shake for Eddie.
You gotta hit
But
shoulder shake for Eddie.
gotta hit the shimmy for Eddie. But but watching him go out there, he was rocking the purple. They're going against Judgment Day. It was almost like, oh, you felt it coming, right? You're like, oh, they're turning. Then you think about it, it was like what he used to rock, like when in WEC. Like, so it was kind of like a cool throwback for after 20 years. I was cool with it when I actually thought about it. But at first it was just like, oh shit, is he gonna be the one that turns, right? Instead of Dominic. And then again, it feels like it matters. And then, oh look, all of a sudden the old man leaves and Judgment Day seems cool all of a sudden. Woof, what's going on? First
Damn,
of all,
you just call Edge the old man like that. That's
Fergal. No, I'm not talking about Edge. I'm talking about he who will not be named. The old man who is not there. I'm talking about Theory's daddy. That's who I'm talking about.
My bad, I was starting shit. My fault. Okay.
But even Fergalicious goes out
on
here
his birthday.
and
Let y'all know
come on,
who I am.
that line into him. Come on, Ferg as a bad guy is so much more compelling, and I think Triple H knows how to use that specific Ferg.
Oh, you mean the cerebral assassin? You mean the game? You think he knows how to book a heel? Get out. No way.
He is going to make, honestly, because remember, he's always been a Ferg guy. I think we're going to see a Ferg push before we know it.
Finn was the NXT champion in, I want to say it's 2015. Someone Google it and help let me know. Yeah. Him and Bailey, when they were when they were NXT champions together, and that's when NXT started actually doing shows outside of Florida. So like they were doing shows elsewhere. That was like a strong babyface champions, both of them. And it was just one of those, like, I felt like it looked like a test. Like, can they handle this? Can they be the face of this brand? And let's see if they can handle this. And they nailed both of them, Bailey and Finn and Fergal. They nailed it.
Nailed it.
This isn't Finn's first rodeo. Like, just because it's in it's in WWE or whatever doesn't mean he doesn't know how to be a top person, a top guy.
Fantastic heel in the past. Amazing. I mean, people, and it's funny for so many people who like love AEW and shit don't realize the person who actually started the Bullet Club. The person who started the Bullet Club was Fergal.
Prince Devitt, if you will. Yes, that
Prince Devitt. You know what? Prince Devitt is one of my favorite wrestlers ever. That dude was badass.
It's badass. And it's dope. I love it. I like I said, I feel like yesterday's Raw was like, it was streamlining us into SummerSlam. It's like, absolutely, all right, if you forgot or you're unsure or it's been a little messy and a little weird, here's what's happening for the Raw folks, at least. Right. For SummerSlam. I feel like Friday is going to be very similar. Here's what's happening for SmackDown folks for SummerSlam. And hey, SummerSlam tomorrow. You should watch it because now everybody knows what's happening.
Now, also,
my third, I want to finish it. I want to finish your question. The third person that I think this is the most likely thing to happen. I think we're going to get Bray Wyatt, aka The Fiend. Ooh. I think Triple H called that man over the weekend and said, hi, sup? Hey, big head, you up?
I can see it. I thought you were going to say Johnny Gargano.
A lot of people are saying that, and I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't mind it. And then because Tommaso Ciampa's already there, it's still there.
Right.
Give us DIY again. Make tag teams great again.
Why tag teams great again? Because AEW has proven that you can be a tag team. Just a show full of tag teams, and it's amazing.
And it's fine. Nobody's mad. Everyone's excited and enjoying life.
Wait, really quick pause. FTR.
Aren't they
FTR?
Aren't they amazing? Aren't they great?
Look, you guys already know I'm a bloodline guy, right? Usos, I think, are the come on. I think the Usos are the best.
And he's
But
always going to salute his tribal chief.
and come on, but FTR is good, man. They are entertaining. Yo, that Dax is one of my favorite. Dax has been my
That
favorite
man,
wrestler this year.
that man is having a moment, ain't he? Like
He is
them
having a moment.
that promo he cut before Death
Oh
Before
my
Dishonor,
god.
when he
Come
talked
on.
about his daughter and how he is going to fight like a girl. Honey, listen, put that with all of your legendary emotional promos. Put it on the
Chef's
list. Put it on
kiss.
the list with Mark Henry's
You
fake
have to.
retirement promo. Put it on the list with I'm serious. Put it on the list of Dusty Rhodes' Hard Times promo. Put it on the list.
It was
Okay?
good.
Like with
It was
put
good.
it on the list. Like throw it up there. It's there. That I didn't it was just one of those things where you did not know where he was going until
You
you knew
did.
where he was going,
Yeah.
and then you're like, you know what?
Oh
I guess
man.
they're the faces for this fight. Like who?
And here's another thing. What's the problem with a team that can be chameleons like that?
It's nothing.
That
There's
can
nothing wrong
I,
with that.
I and this is why I'm very curious to see what Triple H does, because you know what? Triple H is a pro wrestling guy. He's not just a WWE guy, he's a wrestling guy. And if you go back and you listen to, well, what is this? There's a couple good podcasts. Damn, if once I think of the name, it'll come to me. But it's one that talks about the Attitude Era, and there's a
Mm,
lot of different ones in there with Triple H, and you realize like how much of a historian and a like a wrestling dude, and honestly somebody who's really shaped a lot of the wrestling that we grew up loving was
he's a
this
fan.
guy.
He's a
You know what I
fan
mean?
too, like a
He's a
straight up
fan.
historian,
So
like you said,
come
fan,
on.
all
And
that.
if you
So it's
have
nice.
him doing that, you know he's paying attention to what's happening across the way because he was there.
Not
And you
even
know
that.
he yeah,
Not
please
even.
continue. Yeah, yeah.
I'm so sorry to cut you off, but
No, take it, please.
including with that, before AEW existed,
Mm-hmm.
Triple H and crew and gang,
Mm-hmm.
those who were working with him went and poached the indies to make NXT Black and Gold what it ended up becoming in the first place.
Absolutely.
And so
Absolutely. I
NXT,
mean,
honestly, the
NXT
six,
Black and Gold's fingerprints are all over current AEW. It
yes,
it's
because
it's
many of
it's
them
damn
were
near the
in.
same thing.
I won't say, I mean, it's not the same thing, but it's very much like the wrestling style. I would say
Right.
is the wrestling style is kind of similar. And
I like it more.
especially
This is my style of pro wrestling. I
that hard
love it.
hitting,
I
make it
love
look,
it.
make me
Real.
suspend my belief. Make me like,
And don't get it twisted. Didn't it feel
yeah,
like this past week it was like that? It
they
felt
got all,
like that.
it felt like though, it really did feel like the talent went to work that day, Friday and Monday. Like they,
Yes.
like they went to work and was like, so dad said we can have cookies before dinner, like straight up, like we can. Are you word? Like we can. And then they all just went and had cookies
No,
before
I
dinner.
think they
Like
said
that's
it wasn't even that. It was they woke up and they looked outside and they said, "Ding dong, the witch is dead," and they went out there and got to kicking it.
I mean, I love that for them. I say it every week, and I will continue to. We are talent first at the Royal Rundown here. We
Sure,
want everybody to get their create. We want the creative freedom. They get their bags. We want them to be healthy, and we appreciate what they do and put their bodies through to entertain us. And so, like when you can
absolutely.
when we can see you having, no matter what company you work for, see them having a ball, man. I'm already entertained. I could care
Hey,
less if I don't have to like the match. They're having fun. I love it, and now I'm having
oh,
fun too.
absolutely, and you can tell.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, that match. First of all, I don't think that the Usos and the Street Profits can put on a bad match. Those guys
No.
go out there and put on like classics on random Monday nights. Like, and then you throw Riddle and Roman in the mix as well. And I'll be honest with you, like there were clean finishes. There was
There's a little
well,
bit of funky
but
business too.
there's
But
funky
yeah.
business, but at the same time too, like the the shenanigans like played with it, but they were still clean, you know, end up being
Yeah.
like definitive finishes, right?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
And the match was like good. And again,
Yeah.
very hard hitting. One of the more like, when's the last time you've seen Roman catch somebody midair, spike him, and then do his thing?
Yeah.
Like that was like I haven't seen that was the most entertaining I've seen Roman in a long time, and I'm a Roman fan.
Yeah. I mean, and he hasn't wrestled in a while either. So it's kind of like
Granted, his match with Riddle was pretty good.
it's really great. Stop it. So, and he hasn't wrestled in a minute. So, you've got that element in there too. Like, man, it's been a minute. So let me, have some fun.
Yeah.
It's just dope. I think between the two companies now, like you're really gonna actually, I think we got to get SummerSlam out the way.
Okay.
And
Okay.
because I feel
Yep.
like I don't think they're gonna make any like sweeping and significant changes until after SummerSlam because you shouldn't. It would be that will be very WCW. That would be
Absolutely.
very
Yeah.
like late Attitude Era, like 2001 stuff going a little
Ooh.
ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like all of a
Yeah.
sudden you show up on Friday and all the titles are vacant or some stupidness like that. No, like come on. Granted, that would be absolutely insane, and I actually would love to see that fire on the timeline, but let's not.
It would be the best thing. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Are we going to, well, twofold.
Mm.
Actually, maybe I'll ask the second part once I get your answer, kind of solidify it a little bit. What direction do you see the WWE going with Triple H at the helm? But not only that, also with TV14, saying not
Mm.
being the PG era anymore. Are you what are you expecting the product to look like?
Ooh. I think I think it's gonna be gradual. And so I
Okay.
keep talking about this like gradual thing. So we're gonna still
Uh-huh.
little breadcrumbs of it. For
Yes.
example, um, even on Friday, it just felt like scripted promos were less of a thing. Ronda Rousey
Yeah.
sounded like a person on
I
Friday.
know. I
Eh,
know.
Go figure. These two women had a conversation that basically said, "Hey, you're dope, but I'm gonna beat you." Okay, well, you're dope
She
too,
only
and
called
I'm
it the
gonna
bead
beat you.
words once.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, so, right. So I feel like little stuff like that. Granted, like there's still a blueprint you can kind of tell that everyone is still going by because hell, they've been working under that for however long they've been working under that.
For sure.
But you could kind of tell, especially with the more seasoned ones, like the New
Mhm.
Day and on Friday, and then like Roman and Paul Heyman and hell, AJ Styles and Dolph Ziggler, their
Oh,
backstage stuff
well,
and they
and then
sounded like
again,
people. So
not only do
scripted
they sound like
promos,
people, they're on TV and it matters.
yeah.
And even seeing them together was just cool. Like, why not? Like,
It was one of those things when you saw them together in a taxi, be like, yeah, what? Yeah, okay, cool. I'm
I
sure.
was sold. I
Sure.
saw it. I was like,
All right.
oh, like, why haven't we done this before? Like, this
Love that.
looks like it makes sense.
Love that for them.
Look, okay, so, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
No, my answer is I think scripted promos is I think we're going to put those in the trash. I think you're going to have more bullet points for maybe newer wrestlers
Yeah.
and stuff like so that they have
Yep.
a guide. But I don't think you're going to see. I think we're going to see
Like
the
AEW
end.
does it
Yes, or just like they did it like when they did it
when how they
before.
used to do it.
Yeah, like that's not like WWE has never done this. That's the thing. So I think we're gonna see more of that. I think we're
Yeah.
gonna see more. This is just me. This is a whole me thing. I think we're gonna see more real reality inserted into some of our storylines. I think about.
I agree.
I
Yeah.
just I just rewatched the Monday Night Wars thing on Peacock because it's just dope.
It's
Even
so
if,
good. It's
it's
so good.
obviously a very WWE skewed side of
I'm
the
s
story,
I still love it.
but it's very fun to watch.
Yeah.
And I just recall like when Triple H is talking about the evolution of DX and how him and Sean started it and then how it evolved after Sean left because he got injured. And like one of
Right.
the things that he kept talking about was just the times. Those the late 90s and stuff was very
Yeah.
reality based and Jerry Springerish and
Yeah.
all of that, right? And so
And
he's
history's repeating
reflecting on
itself.
this.
The
Right. So he's
time.
reflecting on that
Yeah,
from what they
yeah.
did and how that worked for them then. There is a version of that that could work today, or at least that
Absolutely.
thinking, not necessarily like I'm not saying reform DX or anything, but I am
No,
saying
please
like
don't do that.
absolutely please don't do that.
Please
But I
don't do
am
that.
saying that there's a way to kind of like do that. And like WWE's played around with some of it. Total Divas, as scripted of a reality show as that was, still brought eyes to the product, still gets
Absolutely.
rewatched. You know what I mean? And like, and it was
Yes, it
it was
does.
just cool it's a nice little like side thing. And like they did try to insert Total Diva stuff into
Mhm.
the product sometimes, and that never worked. But what I'm saying is that there's a way to do some of that well. So
Hey,
like
you
do
know
it
what?
well.
They figured it out with the Ms. and Mrs. That's actually a well
It's
done
like
reality
it
show.
really is. I catch myself sometimes watching like, oh wait, Raw came on, is off, but I'm still watching the TV.
And it is genuinely like, and it makes, and again, that's the hard part. It's gonna be hard to keep him a heel, like this
Yeah,
type of heel at least, because he's too likable. He's
he's really
likable.
likable. But what's cool? I think the reason why they're able to do it is because technically the audiences aren't the same. And like that's
True.
what I think is
Very true.
interesting about the reality shows. Because
Very true.
I've met people who used to watch Total Divas, never watched a day of wrestling in their life. But they loved watching Total Divas because, oh, these girls do that. But I'm watching that, like, but I'll watch this. I won't watch that. And
Yo,
like, I think the Ms. and Mrs. have a similar fan base. I think they have a similar viewership, I
absolutely.
should say.
Yeah,
So I
I
think
can see
that's
that.
cool. One more thing I think that we'll hopefully see aside from the death of scripted promos. This is again a, a, a wish. It's a hope and a wish. Especially because of the whole Stephanie connection too, the Stephanie McMahon being the co-CEO and such. Um, some respect on the women's wrestling and the women's
Oh,
wrestlers,
please.
and
And bring back Sasha and Naomi.
please bring back Sasha and Naomi. Like,
Come
please
on.
give them whatever the hell they want and bring them
Whatever
back.
they want. Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks should 1000%. 1000% be
There's money on the table,
she should have been what Bianca Belair is right now. She could have been that.
and like,
And some.
and I'm gonna say the only reason. Let me take the hyperbole out of it. One
Okay.
of the main reasons Bianca Belair is as successful in the role is because Sasha was there
Absolutely.
before her,
1000%.
and Sasha put her over. And
Yep.
we don't
Yep.
get Bianca without Sasha.
We do
And
not.
like, and you're not gonna tell me that that company is not learning from their mistakes from Sasha and
Absolutely.
learning it and and hopefully doing Bianca better. You
Yes.
It just wouldn't be
Hopefully.
smart if they weren't. Like it
Mhm.
wouldn't be smart. Um and there is hell, Bianca Sasha 3 is there.
And that is a WrestleMania event.
It's
That's
still
headlines
there.
with the first night.
Sasha Becky, Sasha Bailey, all of that again. We could do all of that again. We could,
Especially
and
with
then
her coming back.
especially with her,
Especially with her coming
have
back.
Sasha, if she comes back, have her beat Thanos
$1000.
before you beat her
Yep.
again. Like before
Yep.
someone beats her, have
And
her
put
beat
Naomi
Thanos
with the bloodline.
and have
Put
her
Naomi. Yes.
and have them together still.
Which would be even better. Yo, yes. One going straight Thanos and one is just a thug beating people. I love it. Love it. Give it to me. I need it.
Give
And then
them what they
at
want.
the exact same time, I need a Roman versus Montez Ford. Give it to me now. Give me what I want.
It's there. It's just it would be fly. And so that's my hope. I hope we get
Give me
Evolution
what I
2.
want, Hunter.
Hope we get Evolution 2 with the all women,
Give
another
me
all
what I want,
women's
Hunter.
premium live event. All of that.
I need
Again,
to. Well, yeah, we need that.
it's like
No,
it's
I
look,
need to find that GIF of both pieces saying that, and now because we can literally say that every time we
throw that
want
anywhere.
something creative
Yes.
wise, and be like, "Give me what I want, Hunter."
All I'm saying is like, listen, Triple H, I don't envy him. I don't
No,
because
definitely
this
not.
man everybody and their mama has a laundry list of wishes for this man.
Seriously.
And he also has his own ideas. Right. I'm just saying, I don't envy that man's task because no matter what he does, especially if it doesn't happen as fast as people want it to happen,
Yeah.
or if it happens too fast, somebody's everybody, he's gonna get criticized. The dope thing though is
Sure.
that he's been in this business long enough. I'm sure he's like
Absolutely.
he's far if anyone's capable of handling that, it would be him.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's gonna be dope. I am very interested to see how AEW counters all of this talk too. And counters is a tough word, whatever. But like I feel like AEW is smart, right? First of all, we get the return of Bryan Danielson on Wednesday.
Which is
Love that.
fantastic.
He
Cannot
is
wait.
healthy again. Love that for him. The Ring of Honor stuff is really interesting, and we haven't even talked about their controversy they've had all weekend with
Oh
Jonathan
my
Gresham
goodness.
and
Yeah,
everything.
we'll have to talk about it next time. We don't got time for that
Because
today, but next time
that
we'll
is
definitely talk about that.
a whole set of tea in itself. Long
And
story
some.
short, look, long story short, I mean, FUBU and all, but if you
Ooh, say what I think you're saying.
if you and again, this is all speculation. I don't know these people, but I seen what I seen. If you are one of those who is only comfortable if you're the only one in the room.
Oh, what you're saying is not all skin folk is your kinfolk. Is that what you're saying?
It's not that you don't have a point. He in the interview, the point is valid. You just might be not the right person to be presenting said point. That's all I'm saying. I don't
Not
know.
everyone
Again,
should be the messenger, is what you're saying.
I don't know this man. There's all kinds of other sides of the story and all that. All I'm saying is I've seen what I've seen. And when multiple people say the same thing about your child, it's just that's sad.
It's unfortunate, but
it's
okay.
unfortunate.
Well, let's finish up with this one. And like I said, we got 3 minutes. I want to finish up with this one. I'll get your thoughts.
Okay.
Are we going to get
Mhm.
a WWE, a real WWE Forbidden Door event?
I think we're as close. I think the table has never been more set.
So
There are the right people at the table, child. Okay.
So either yes or no?
I think I'm gonna go with it. That was my prediction last week, right? Yes. I think we're gonna get it, and I think we're gonna get it next year.
Well, look, I hope you're right. I would love to see it.
I don't know. Wait, it might be December 2023, but I think we're gonna get it.
If it happens, regardless,
and it better be in Chicago.
I'll be excited. It better be in the
It's
best
gonna be like
city in the world.
It's gonna be like a coin flip between Chicago and Madison Square Garden because one time for
Madison
Square Garden last
it'll be
night.
Madison Square Garden showed out. When they're talking about what is it? Daddy's gone. Daddy's gone. Daddy's gone. I was like, yo.
We went up in the group chat.
It was not. I was like, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. But I'll say this as we close. I'm excited about I've been really irritated and upset with the WWE as of late. I think they've been putting out basura, okay?
You've never
just
said
straight
anything, sir.
Garbage to the point that it put me in a foul mood. I'd be doing stuff, I'd be working, and I'd be mad thinking about pro wrestling. It's ridiculous.
You mean sports entertainment?
Nah, man.
Pro wrestling,
whatever. You're right, because AEW is pro wrestling. You got sports entertainment basura on the other side. But if Triple H comes out here and does what I believe he's going to do and actually give that same feeling that we had when we had the black and gold, I'm telling you, if you put that on the main roster, this might be the best. I am very optimistic. I would just say that.
WrestleMania season this year is going to be mad.
It's going to be
fun. At least it's going to be fun.
I cannot wait to shit. Chelsea, I cannot wait to have notes for that. I can't wait. Cannot wait.
Serge, you got to get a notebook and put it on the Etsy shop.
You know what? I should do that. I think I'm gonna do that. And for everybody else, do you want to know what the Etsy shop is looking like? Please go out there and check it out. Etsy.com/shop/the Fight Pod Shop. You get beautiful mugs like that. You get t-shirts like this and so much more. So go ahead and check that out. Ms. Dre, thank you so much as always.
Thank you for having me as always.
In closing, anything else you want to mention before we get up out of here?
I'm gonna say this. I'm not going to promise this, but maybe a SummerSlam recap this weekend.
Ooh, I think we maybe we'll figure that out.
That's an
Ooh.
See what we can do. See what we can do, Serge.
We'll see what we can do. All right. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you check us out each and every, Tuesday. Again, it's either gonna be Tuesday, Wednesday,
or Wednesday.
Happening. You know what I'm saying? We shit happens. We gotta switch it up.
Here's the tea, family. If you don't know what day the show is going to happen, set your reminder. You see how you can click that lovely subscribe button over there? It's over there somewhere. It's down here somewhere.
In there.
Click that button and then set your notifications so your phone could be like, hey, Dre and Serge about to be on. Hey, Dre and Serge are about to be on. Follow us on our social medias. You see them right here. We'll also let you know, hey, we ain't going on today. We're going on tomorrow. Or we're going on today. We'll let you know. But the point is, stay with us. Like, share, subscribe. Tell 2 friends. I want to double. We got people in the chat today. We want to triple. Let's double our numbers next week. Triple them the week after that. By the time we get to episode 30, we should have a popping chat. You hear me?
Let's do it. And as I get this out the way,
he said, and dramatic pause.
Dramatic pause.
Pregnant pause, if you will.
You know what I'm saying? As I get this out the way, make sure, again, thank you so much for watching. If you're watching live on not only the Fight Podcast's YouTube page, thank you for watching on the Scrap News YouTube page. Remember, check out the Scrap News for the absolute best in combat sports journalism. Again, amazing articles there, amazing content. Go ahead and check everything out that's happening over there. Check out the Fight Podcast, all of our shows. We got a gang of them. So check us out, fightpodcast.com.
No, they got like 7,000 shows.
Yeah.
Serge is out here working. Okay, that mic gets
We
worked.
We be trying. We out here. But check us out. And look, always remember this. When you going into the gig, you've been out here hustling, you working hard, you sweating, you got, your brows offered, or you got to retire because you out here doing, some fucked up stuff. Make sure you tell those people this.
Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Be certified.